I talk a lot about healing from abuse, but we need to talk about the abusers that are in our government right now. So our administration has been bombing small boats in the Caribbean. They look like fishing boats, but the administration is saying that they are drug cartels. And we're sending over drones and just bombing the heck out of these boats without due process, without evidence. Over 80 people are dead. Bombing those boats wasn't self-defense. And then there were 2 survivors that had jumped off the boat and they were clinging to debris in the water, and our administration sent a second strike to kill them. That's totally illegal. If we were in a war, it would be a war crime. But since we're not in war, it's unlawful killing. It's called extrajudicial killing, which means our government killed people without proving first that they were an immediate threat. Due process doesn't disappear at sea. International law, human rights law, the law at sea, even the U.S. Constitution requires evidence and imminence. You can't bomb a boat because you think there might be drugs on board. That's authoritarian behavior. That's abusive behavior. And if we let them get away with this, what's going to stop them from bombing your house because someone makes an anonymous tip that you might have illegal drugs in your home? Now, if you are a Christian, you should be screaming the loudest about this. Jesus protected human dignity, insisted on truth, and interrupted cycles of violence. And even if you're not religious, morally this is wrong. Legally this is wrong. A government that kills without transparency, without due process, they will eventually turn that violence inward. Personally, I don't think this is about drugs at all. Otherwise, Trump would not have just pardoned the former president of Honduras who was convicted of drug crimes. Also, Venezuela is not our #1 importer of drugs, like Colombia and Mexico are. So why are we focusing on them? Well, if you destabilize a country, you can force an administration change, a regime change, and put in somebody else who's more friendlier to America. So we get more access to their oil and their minerals and cut off China's access to it because they are their biggest customer. Because I think Trump is terrified that China is going to become more powerful than America, and abusers want power and control. Now, that's just my opinion, but it makes more sense than pretending this is about fishermen with cocaine. And this is why we have to speak up, because when abusers and powerful people start testing the limits of violence, they don't stop on their own. There has to be consequences to our government for doing this. Otherwise, we are definitely going to have abusers in charge and an authoritarian government. And I'm not good with that.